Alright, haven't done a video in a while, and I'm going to do a video here of a pattern I've been working on for a while. I have a buddy of mine up in Breckenridge that just loves small hoppers, and this has kind of been in the works for a while. And this is called my Mini DH hopper. The hook it's tied on is a size 10 2488 Tiemco, and this little booger here has just been dynamite. So here's a sample of it, and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to put a hook in the vise here, and it's this is a 2488 Tiemco size 10. I better get my reading glass, my cheaters on. Alright, I got my hook started in the vise. A little awkward here, but you'll see why here in a minute. I'm going to start my thread here. This is a fluorescent orange 8/0 thread for this first part of the fly. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to come down and build a little bit of a tag down here. We're going to build a little bit. Get a little bit of a tag built here. Alright, so we're going to take some UV resin now. Just a little bit. And the resin I'm using, of course, is Deer Creek's Diamond Hard. This stuff is just the best as far as being tack free and just easy to work with. So I'm going to hit it with a torch. Alright, so we got that nice and hardened. So I'm going to turn the hook right up. I'm going to take my thread. I'm going to lay down a base of thread here, and I'm going to tie in our rib for this fly. And what I'm using for ribbing is, it's from Hairline. It's called Ice Thread, and this is a brown. So I'm going to take and run this down, and I'm going to work it and keep the ribbing on the far side of the hook as I go down. Okay, now I'm going to take and build just a little bit of a taper in here. Not much. Okay, so I'm going to run my thread back down here to the tie-in point, down here to the back. The first part of the body is a 1mm razor foam from this is from Wapsi, and I cut it in a little bit of a triangle shape here. We'll tie this in at the back of the hook. Okay, so now we're going to run this thread back up to the front. Now I'm going to take a little bit of super glue on the thread. This just helps the fly be a little more durable. I'm going to grab the foam, I'm going to wrap it forward. I'm going to put a little tension on it in the first here, and then as I bring it up forward, I'm going to overlap it, and I'm going to release the tension, and you'll see it taper the body on for us. I'm going to run it right up to about the 3/4 point. Okay, so got that. Make sure this is bound down nice and tight. Okay, so we got our first part of the body done. Now I'm going to take, this is more razor foam. This is a piece of 1/2 mil orange, and it's maybe a little less than, cut a little less than 1/8 of an inch wide. So now I'm going to take and tie that in. I want that right on top. And then here's a piece of the brown razor foam, and I want to do the same thing. And the trick here is just making sure it's centered right on the top of the fly. Okay, so now we got that in. I'm going to take a little bit of super glue, just right on the top of the body here. I'm going to pull the orange down, lock that into place, and just a little bit more, and we'll pull the brown, all the while just keeping this centered. Okay, got that down. Now we're going to take the ice thread, brown ice thread here, and I'm going to start running this up through the fly. And what you can see on with my fingers, as I tighten it, I'm keeping it so it'll keep, I'm pushing on that far side, so as I tighten it, it stays on the top of the hook. Okay. Clip that off, and then I'm going to come here at the back, and I'm going to clip this tag just a little long, just so it sticks out past everything a little bit. And then we're going to come in and just kind of notch it here so it has a little bit of a shape to it. Okay, so now we got that. Now what I want to do is, this is where I'm going to just switch threads. When I tie a bunch of these, I tie them to this point because I like the orange thread for that tag, and then for the rest of the body and then tying, I want to use just a brown 8/0 thread. Okay, cut my tag in. As you can see there, it just gives this really, with that whole look there, it gives it just this really cool looking body. Alright, so now I want to take in a little bit of Crystal Flash. This is from Troutsman. It's called Mono Flash, and the color is it's called Multi. I don't want a lot under here, but I just want a little. So I'm going to come in, clip it just a little bit past the body. Okay, now Juan Ramirez put me onto this. Nature Spirit has come up with it's called a whole deer hawk, and this stuff makes cool little wings. It's pretty much my go-to material on wings now for smaller flies. So I'm gonna grab a good little clump here, and I'm gonna clean and stack it. I did have a little, here's a comb. Okay, so now I'm going to clean, I got it cleaned, I'm going to stack it up right now. Got it in my stacker here. Okay, so we got a nice set of stack tips. So now I'm just going to thin it down to size. I'm just trying to get the right amount for this wing. Okay, how did that? That looks pretty good right there. Okay, so now I'm going to measure it. I just want the tips just to go almost to the back. Okay, I got the butt ends clipped. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to set it right on top, take 2 loose wraps, and then I'm going to pull down. I'm going to let go for a second to check my length, which I really like. So now I'm just going to bind all that down. Okay, I'm going to take a drop of head cement. Just want to drop it right in there. So now we're going to take the foam. We got some, now the last piece of foam we're going to use. It's a 2 mil foam, brown, and it's 3/16 of an inch wide, maybe not quite that wide. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put my thread in right behind the eye of the hook, and we're going to bind that down forward. Okay, making sure I pull it back and then my eye's not covered up. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of dubbing in the thorax region here, and then I found some new dubbing here. It's put out by Hemingsway Fly Fishing Products, and it's called Beaver Dubbing Plus, and it's got a real cool tan here. Really like this dubbing here. So we're going to take a good little clump of that. We're going to dub up this. Okay, a little bit more. Just a hair here. And one thing I like about this Beaver's dubbing, it's a great dry fly dubbing. It's waterproof, water resistant. Okay. Alright, so now we got that dubbed in there. So now we're going to take this front piece of foam, fold it back, take 2 loose wraps. I'm going to hold it, just pull it down. We got some stragglers over here I didn't like. Okay, so we're going to come in now and clip this, and then I kind of clip it at an angle with the first cut, and then I come down and clip the second one. Clip out a couple more stragglers of hair there. Okay, now the last step here almost is the legs. The legs I'm going to use is Montana Fly centipede legs, and they're the minis, and I'm going to do one of the browns, and they're the speckled. So I'm going to grab one brown, and then I'm going to grab, so I've got one brown and one of the orange. I'm going to line them up. Okay. So I'm going to start out getting the tips lined up on them. And I'm going to take them and tie this side in first. 1, 2, and then I'm going to take and pull this down, get it where I want. Okay, got this side, and then I'm going to take them and I'm going to fold them around to the other side, making sure I leave enough room here. Then I'm going to throw a loose loop, 1, 2, and then I'm going to get them tied in. And I'm going to take them while everything's loose somewhat. I'm going to pull them down to where I want them. Okay, so we got the legs. Now don't trim them yet, because we're going to go ahead and do the whip finish. Okay, come on, there we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 3-turn whip finish. And now come in here carefully. Clip our thread. Okay, so there we got our legs all tied in, and then the last thing we want to do is trim our legs. So I'm going to pull them all the way down, clip them right there, a little past the point. Just some minor adjustments. Okay, and then we'll take a drop of head cement right there, right there. And then lastly, this fly is kind of tricky to see on the water. I was trying to come up with a way to put a visible, like high vis or something, to show the pose, make it a little easier to see, and I came up with this way that it looks and it works really well. So I'm going to take a drop of super glue right on the top, right there. And these are Rainy's parachute posts. I'm going to set it right into the super glue. And this is an orange one. Let the super glue dry. And then lastly, after the glue's dry, come in and clip that really close. So now you have a nice little round high vis post up there that helps you spot the fly on the water. So here this is the mini DH hopper. And here's a couple other color variations that I'm playing with. That's the brown. Here is a little black one. Black foam. We got the black 1 mil foam underbody, the 1/2 mil orange, and then the 1/2 mil black with some black elk hair or deer hair. And then here is a yellow and tan version. But that'll give you a good idea what they look like. I hope you enjoy.